Hello, Angela with Let's Real Estate Milwaukee. In this video, I'm going to talk about common foreclosure scams and how to avoid them. These are also known as foreclosure relief or foreclosure rescue scams, and there's some key things to look out for. Number one is if there is a cost, like I mentioned in my last video, questions to ask before you hire a professional. If there is a deposit required, a large upfront fee, or a fee to work with them, especially if they reach out to you, because there is no fee to work with your bank. So if you are paying somebody, make sure that you fully understand what they are doing, the timeline. And again, I already did a video on this, so go check that out. But if there are any fees associated with someone's help, it is more than likely a scam. Another one is if somebody asks you to make your mortgage payments to anyone except your lender. So if you're making any payments for your mortgage, be sure you are paying your lender directly, because sometimes people will say they're working with the bank and you pay them a fee and they're going to pay the lender, what have you. A lot of times they don't. So again, you always have the availability to call your bank, make sure payments are being made. Any money that you send out should be directly to the lender. If for some reason you send what you think is a mortgage payment to somebody besides your lender, call your lender and make sure that that payment has been made. And I know in financial hardship situations, sometimes talking with your bank is the last thing you want to do. However, it should be the first thing that you do. The next one is if you are asked to temporarily deed the property to someone else, and they say that they'll rent it back to you, sell it back to you after it's not in foreclosure. A lot of times these will have really insane terms, and it'll be really hard for the prior homeowner to meet these terms, or they will not offer you the options that they promised, or again, make it really difficult. So a lot of times this is a scam. More likely than not, it's a scam, and you should not deed your property to anyone during the foreclosure process unless you are comfortable no longer owning the house forever. Another one is if you are advised to stop contacting your lender. That should be the contact that you have most contact with. So if you have somebody helping you out, you are always well within your rights to reach out to your lender and get an update, update them, make sure that whoever's helping you is doing what they have said they're going to do, whether it's free help or paid help. And the next one is false claims of if they are a government agency. Sometimes websites will have like stimulus or CARES Act or something like that on their website, and it's not true. So if you think you're working with a government agency, again, reach out to them, make sure that this person is authorized to work with them or work on behalf of them. Another really common thing is high pressure techniques, getting you to sign something that maybe has errors or incomplete information, saying that they'll update it at another time. If you feel pressure to do something, definitely don't. Take some time and call them back the next day, call them back in a few days. If somebody is there in your best interest, then they are willing to let you go at your pace. Now, in some situations, it is better to act quickly depending on where you are in the foreclosure process, which is why it's so important to get ahead of all of it as soon as possible. Another one is if they claim that bankruptcy will solve your problems. Now, I'm going to do another video on this going into more detail. There are instances when bankruptcy can pause the foreclosure. However, it is highly unlikely that your house will be released in bankruptcy from foreclosure. And again, I'll do another video on this, just explaining all of this and how bankruptcy works with foreclosure, but that's not generally a be-all end-all for most borrowers. And then there's also debt elimination scams where somebody apparently knows about some secret laws that they can eliminate your debt or the foreclosure or what have you. That is definitely not the case, and you can even just Google this, reach out to an attorney. They'll give you a free consultation in most cases and help you to understand that. Now, how to protect yourself. Again, stay in touch with your lender. Make sure that they're updated from your end, you are updated from their end. Do your research. Research any company you're working with for legitimacy, especially if they're claiming that they are part of a government agency or have some sort of backing from a government agency. Google it. If you don't feel comfortable, definitely take some time, call them back, review everything. Don't get rushed into anything. If you feel pressure, take a step back, do your research. Read everything very carefully. If there's something you don't understand, don't sign it. If there's errors, don't sign it. If there's anything that doesn't make you comfortable, especially if you are signing something to sign over the deed to the property, that's definitely a red flag and could end up costing you the house. If your intention is to sell the property, that's a completely different story. And also verify who you are paying. Don't make your mortgage payments to anyone aside from your lender. And if you do hire help, make sure you can afford that payment plus your mortgage payment. So if you're hiring a professional, make sure that this isn't putting you in further financial hardship to put you further behind on your mortgage, especially if you are hoping to stay in your house. And then also report any suspicious activity. The CFPB is great. You can go to their website and file a complaint. That's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Reach out to them, reach out to local areas to report any suspicious activity, just so others don't get scammed as well if you do think somebody is trying to scam you. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. My website is letsrealestatemilwaukee.com and my email is angela@letsremke.com. I'm here to help. This really frustrates me with the work I do and some of the things people are seeing and experiencing. So always ask questions, make sure you understand, don't sign anything, verify, research, and reach out for help.